We appreciate.
Yang di aku.
catacombs are simply underground tombs, burial places used by the pagan Romans, the Christians, and the Jews to bury their dead. As you will be able to see around you during your visit, this does not mean that through time they haven't been used for other functions.
Close to the public, pagan catacomb 4.
Which way do you want to go? There's tunnels everywhere.
Yeah, pick a direction. You say okay.
That one.
See the hand mirrors.
Vedi? Tutti uguali. No?
Vous ne voyez pas sur qui, madame? Rien, mais vous laisse passer, je vois une femme de madame.
The rich people only have a good on
Yeah.
tree. Huh? Look. You didn't have an orange tree. You could have already been here.
Those are rituals, but jeez. It closes and opens. Look.
Ajattelin ensin, että kun me katsottiin tuo toinen puoli, että no joo, että pikkasen enemmän mä odotin.
there's writing here.
Yeah. I'll show you if you. You might have to shut off your video for a sec.
There's tree roots in here. This one has a lot of tree roots.
It's quite little, this one.